All right, David Hogg is out. He's out. David Hogg is out. Out, flying like an eagle. Why is he out? Well, because, well, let's go ahead and talk about it. Because the DNC said good riddance.
I'm going to apologize to you, Josh, because we just got some breaking news I'm going to have you react to. Apparently, David Hogg, according to Politico here, has been removed by the DNC of his position. There was some folks that didn't love how progressive he was and pushing towards, more progressive candidates, primarying some Democrats, longtime Democrats that have been in Congress. He was ruffling feathers over there, Josh.
Yeah, a lot of Democrats, I'm sure, are saying good riddance. Ever since he was elected as vice chairman, his job was to represent the Democratic National Committee. He decided not to do his job and instead.
So let's be clear on this one for the Democrat Party. First of all, Democrat Party was never on board with any kind of attempt for change, and let this serve as a lesson, especially for those who think the Fight the Oligarchy tour is just going to do that. Look what they're doing to David Hogg. If you think that AOC and Bernie are going to have more push and pull than David Hogg, you're gravely mistaken. Now, while they're able to bring in people and rally people and have 30,000 people attend an event, how wonderful that is. I mean, you can't reform something that still has super delegates and still wants good billionaires, okay? You can't reform something that for not once, not twice, but tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row, we've seen the DNC get its full power into the primary. So even if you want a Bernie Sanders or AOC-like person running for office, if you want to see that, guess what? It's not going to happen. Same thing like Rebellion PAC, Cenk Uygur, not going to happen. Look at what they're doing. They're removing David Hogg. Of course, you got Fox News saying, oh, because they don't want his leftist idea. It's precisely the point. But they also don't want anyone to shake up the system. And David Hogg and everyone else needs to realize third parties, independents, you can't reform the Democrat Party because it has no value.
Ever since he was elected as vice chairman, his job was to represent the Democratic National Committee. He decided not to do his job and instead to challenge other elected Democrats or work for his other organization that was trying to fund challenges to sitting Democrats. There's a space for that. That's a debate. The Republican Party has that debate. The Democratic Party has that debate. But when you're representing an institution, the notion that you're going to vandalize the institution, it was always absurd from the get-go. And that's the problem the Democrats have. You have a bunch of people who care more about their own individual, see me now, the AOCs of the world, trying to kind of showcase their socialism instead of actually working to help the Democratic Party move and win elections.
Democrats definitely can't go too far to the left, Ari, because that's not really what wins elections. But he did have a following. He was a fresh face. He was trying something new. He was very popular among the base. Was it smart to get rid of him?
I would argue, yes, they can go too far to the left. And we might see that in New York City if a socialist is elected the mayor.
Don't worry, there's a whole system in place to make sure progressives don't get into power. And even if they do, they're faced with nothing but roadblocks. And even if you have somebody who's saying they're progressive, very rarely do they have follow through, okay? No, the Democrat Party has a whole system in place to make sure they don't move left, all right? I mean, look what they did to the squad, okay? First of all, the squad is not even the squad. And even when progressives wanted those 15 congressmen and women in 2021 to fight for forced to vote, where were they? Nowhere.
Here in New York City. So much of the energy, the base, the passion of the Democratic Party is the far left. It is David Hogg's views about get rid of these old people, these centrists in Washington, get rid of liberals, replace them with progressives and woke. It's a Democrat disease. Many of them suffer from it.
That's a disease, and many of them suffer from it. Oh, no. So, David Hogg to exit Democrat National Committee after months of turmoil. So, David Hogg, I hope you learned a lesson here. You can't. The Democrat Party never wanted to play ball with you. All right, they never did. It's all a joke. It's all a waste. So David Hogg, the young vice chair of the Democrat National Committee, who's vowed to unseat asleep at the wheel Democrats, roiled his party, said on Wednesday that he would step away from a high-ranking role in a move that ends months of internal fighting. Moments before Hogg announced his decision, members of the committee had voted to hold a new vice chair elections that would have led to his ouster. I came into this role to play a positive role in creating the change our party needs, Hogg said in a statement, announcing that he was withdrawing from the race. It is clear that there is a fundamental disagreement about the role of a vice chair, and it's okay to have disagreements. What isn't okay is allowing this to remain our focus when there is so much more needed to be focused on. Ultimately, I've decided not to run in this upcoming election so the party can focus on what really matters. Money, 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 money. Hogg's brief tenure has been marked by dramatic infighting with members of the committee's leadership team after he announced his plans to spend $20 million in the Democrat primaries through his outside political organization, Leaders We Deserve. In April, DNC Chair Ken Martin endorsed a proposal that would have forced Hogg to choose between his vice chair position and his push to bring generational change to the party. Last week, audio from an internal Zoom meeting of party officers was leaked to Politico. In the recording, Martin accuses Hogg of having destroyed his ability to effectively lead Democrats out of the political wilderness. You have done that yourself, Democrats. Multiple officers publicly blamed Hogg for the disclosure, prompting Hogg to post screenshots of text that he ignored from the political reporter seeking comment. In a statement, Martin called Hogg a powerful voice in his party and said he commended his activism. I respect his decision to step back from his post as vice chair, Martin said. I have no doubt that he will remain an important advocate for Democrats across the map. I appreciate his service as an officer, his hard work, and his dedication to the party. Hogg's withdrawal means that Pennsylvania state lawmaker Malcolm Canada is the only eligible candidate for his male vice chair role. A second vote will be held later this week for the second vice chair position, which can be a candidate of any gender. Canada, who has been sharply critical of Hogg and the attention focused on him, said in a statement that he was grateful to his supporters and eager to move forward. Democrats must be bold and meet this moment, he said. This is the urgent work in front of us to stand up to authoritarianism, to protect and to protect care and dignity, and to make life better for the people who count on us. To which I will add, no, you're not. No, you won't. No, you won't. You're not going to do a damn thing. Democrats will not do a damn thing to change their ways. They want that good billionaire money. They want more people to be afraid of Donald Trump. And of course, they're going to be capitalizing on this No King's March. Because here's the thing about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like that stripper twerking for them. It's a good enough thing to give people Trump derangement syndrome. Look at who's funding these protests, or use that allegedly. The No Kings protest. No kings. Oh, that's going to trigger some people. And of course, you have Trump following through with a campaign promise. But then again, you have incompetent Democrats too, especially in predominantly Democrat cities that have failed with the sanctuary city shelters. So all of this, plus not to mention Democrats 4 years being connected to Biden at the hip, it's a recipe for disaster. Everyone is still furious about how November 5th played out, but no one should be surprised that Trump basically, in my opinion, had it in the bag. It was all working out. And now this is perfect storm of people saying we must support Democrats. So, what I'm seeing in the horizon is, hey, people, more censorship for hard lens media. Hey, people, more censorship for all independent media, because we're going to be critical of Democrats. Yes, we'll be critical of Republicans. But see, the thing is, there's no room for reform. Let this be the final debate, the final nail in the coffin. You can't fix the Democrats. All right, so Justice Democrats, brand new Congress, our revolution, DSA, failed. Rebellion PAC, that's being led by Cenk Uygur, it's going to fail. David Hogg, already ousted, failed. Fight the oligarchy tour? Well, it's succeeding in making people believe in that hopium-copium crap. How's that going to work out for everybody? How's that going to work out? So, I'm already seeing 2028 happen. And I'm mentally and emotionally, psychologically, spiritually trying to build myself up as we get a wave of haters saying, how dare you say this about the Democrats? You're a Trump supporter. I see it happening. I mean, it was bad in 2017, aftermath of 2016. It was really bad in 2020. Jesus, 2020. In fact, throughout 2020 and 2024, yeah, it was really bad. Here we go again. And so many people are not going to learn their lesson. And, as people are crying and saying, why did the Democrats screw us over? I donated $10,000 to the Democrats. I donated this. I gave so much time. I will sit down next to them, smile, crack open a beer and say, first time, first time.